You are welcome once again, my dear children of Primary 1. My name, as usual, Teacher Chirungi Joy. I welcome you all. Sit down and be attentive. So, in our lesson today, you open page 19 to 20. Open page 19 to 20. So, last time we learned about a home. And we said a home is a place where people or animals live. A home is a place where people or animals live. Now, a home can also mean a building where we stay. But when we are giving the definition of a home, give the first one. So a home can also be a building where we live. That building makes it a home. So on that page, there is a picture of a house. On that page, there is a picture of a house and the parts of the house. Please, you name them there. You see, you look at your house, you say, okay, this part is there, you name it. You got the next one like that, you name it. So, since it is a building, we don't just go there. A building is always built. A building is always what? Built. After building it, it becomes a house. Or they become houses. So you are looking at the types of houses. One, we have temporary houses. My dear children, we have temporary houses. Then the second one, we have permanent houses. We have two types of houses, temporary houses and permanent houses. Now let us look at the temporary houses. What are temporary houses? These are houses built with weak building materials. They are houses which are built with weak building materials. What does it mean? The materials are not strong enough to support this house for a long time. Some people say temporary houses are houses which last for a short period of time. That definition is also there. They are houses which last for a short period of time. Now, we have examples of temporary houses. We have unipots. We have the word unipots. These are temporary houses. We have huts, we have the tents, we have kiosks. When you are coming to school, we have a police post near our school here. They are in a kiosk kind of. There is no uniport, but they are signposts where where in that house which they live. It is like a kiosk kind of. In the barracks, police barracks, in the army barracks, they have many of the unipots. Those soldiers and policemen sleep in the unipot. Why? It can be lifted from one area to another. That's why we call it a temporary house. It can't stay there. If I have it in the train up here, I can carry it and take it to Kampala town. I can carry it and take it to Mukono. It can be carried to another place. Those children who take the route down our school, there is an officer who lives there. There are unipots there where those guards sleep. At least for those children who live in Kitinda and have got a chance to see those unipots there. Then we have the huts. We have huts. We have our friends who come from the northern part of Uganda and eastern part of Uganda. Their houses, most of their houses are huts. Why? They have huts because of the weather conditions. So they build their huts, they look very nice, and wow, during the sunny weather, it is very cold inside there. So a hut can be removed anytime when he or she wants, can remove it. Then we have the tents. You have seen these ones. At school, whenever it is visitation, they bring them, they put them there temporarily for your parents to sit in case it rains when the sun is too much. So it helps us. Or in functions, introductions, weddings, people use that tents. Then we have the kiosks. People sell there drinks, others sell there even clothes. It can be lifted from one place to another. So we are saying viewing pots, huts, tents, kiosks are examples of temporary houses. We have materials used to build the temporary houses. Materials used to build the temporary houses. One, we have the dry grass. This one comes to the huts. We have the mud soil. Mud soil, you get soil, mix it with water. And you mix that soil. Then you put in the radish. Then we have the cow dung. The animals' dung, cows give us cow dung. We get it to smear on our houses, and they look very nice. Then we have the reeds. We have the small sticks and poles. So then we have the banana fibers. So we use them to build temporary houses. So my dear children, let us go to permanent houses. We are saying these are houses built with strong building materials. Children, we are saying temporary houses are built with strong building materials. And when we call it permanent, they take long time. If I build a permanent house today, my children will find it there. My grandchildren will find it there. It is strong. Your school train up. You have learned in it. Your children will learn in it. Your grandchildren will learn in it because it is built with strong materials. Now we have the examples of building of permanent houses. We have the flats. Then we have the bungalows. The flats, your school is a flat house. Your school is a flat house. Where you pass in Bugolobi, people live in flats. Even you might be there when your house is a flat house where you are living. So it is a permanent house. We have the bungalows, houses. The example of a bungalow house, when you look at the building where your sick bay is, it is a bungalow. Where your sick bay is in the school, it is a bungalow what? House. So these are the examples of permanent houses. Which materials do we use to build them? One, we use the stones. Every permanent house has stones in it. We have the nails. We have the nails. Then we have the tiles. You are lucky that all your class, your school is tiled. We have the iron sheets. The roof with iron sheets. Then we have timber. We have bricks. We have cement. We have iron bars and others. So they use these materials to build permanent houses. How is a house important to people? How is a house important to us? It protects us from bad weather, e.g. rain, strong wind, which might be storm, too much sunshine. When it is shining too much, you are like, let me go and get shelter. You are running away from that too much sunshine. When it begins raining, every person is running where there is a house to get shelter. The same applies to strong wind. Nobody can stay in a strong wind. You go in the house. Why do we need a house again? It protects us from wild animals. Wild animals are not friendly. When animals are not friendly. But when you're in the house, a lion can come and bypass you. An elephant can come and pass. You're already in the house. You have locked yourself in your house. It also protects us from bad people. When some good people go in the houses to sleep, the so-called thieves, the so-called strangers, for them they begin working at night. So when you go in your house and lock yourself there, bad people can bypass you and go where they are going. So my dear children, you will go to page 23 to 24. Page 23 to 24, where there are animals. Where there are animals. We have types of animals. Types of animals. There are two types of animals, and these are, we have domestic animals and wild animals. Domestic animals and wild animals. Domestic animals, what are they? These are animals kept at home. Man keeps these animals in his home, stays with them, but not in the same house, because we don't sleep in the same house with animals. We can build for them outside as people stay in a different house. But it's man who cares for them. We stay with them at home. That's why we say they are animals kept at home. We give them care. We stay with them. Those are called domestic animals. Examples of domestic animals. We have the cows. For most children in Kampala here, for them they know cows. They don't know them. They only see milk coming on their way, but they don't know the real picture of a cow. We have the cats. We have the goats. We have rabbits. We have sheep. We have pigs. We have donkeys. We have horses. We have dogs. We have oxen. And many others, which are there, that are domestic animals. Now, when we look at a cow, from a cow we get very many things. By the way, every part of a cow is important. When you look at the horns, very important. When you look at the hooves, very important. When you look at its head, very important. That skin, very important. No part of a cow which is useless. The cow itself gives us milk. Wonderful. We get buttons and glue. Buttons from the horns, glue from the hooves of a cow. Hides and skins, we get wallets, drums, we get bags. You see how important it is. We have the cats. We keep cats at home. Something that I can ask you, why do you keep a cat at home? To chase away rats. This cat eats rats. Another one, a cat is kept as a pet. It makes our home beautiful. It keeps playing around. So a cat is as well a pet animal. So the use of a cat, they will ask you a question. Why do people keep cats in their homes? To chase away rats. The goats, very important. They give us its meat. By the way, the meat of a goat is not called goat's meat. We call it goat meat. That is the meat of a goat. Goat meat, that's how we call it. It gives us skins. Yes? Very important. We have rabbits. You know them. The sheep gives us mutton. That is the meat of sheep. The meat of a sheep is mutton. A sheep also gives us wool. We have the pigs. The meat of a pig is called pork. The meat of a pig is called pork. Then we have the donkeys, horses, used for transport. Then we have the dogs. This one, at least very many homes have dogs at home. It guards our houses. Or sometimes we say it protects our houses. That is a dog. Then we have the oxen. plowing. But since you're young children, we say oxen is used for digging. That's the use of this oxen here, for digging. So my dear children, let us look at the uses of domestic animals. We sell them and get money. Many people depend on domestic animals. When you look at the cows, the goats, rabbits, sheep, pigs, these ones mostly can be sold. At least every home has this. Many of the homes have. When one wants to pay your school fees, has a cow, so let me pay sell my cow and pay your school fees. Let me sell this goat. I get school fees for my child. So we sell them and get money. We get milk, beef, hides and skins from animals, which is used to make other products. The dogs guard our homes and many other uses of domestic animals. Now let us look at wild animals. These are called wild animals because they are not friendly to people. They don't live with us. They live in the bush. They are not friendly to us. Once it meets you, that way you are finished. Now what are wild animals? These are animals which live in the bush. They are animals which live in the bush. They can live in the bush. They can live in the zoo. They can live in the forests and game parks. But for here, you know, a zoo. We have wildlife, we have a zoo in Entebbe. We do go there for touring. But because of Corona, for you might have not reached there. Some of your parents are rich, they can put in their car and take it to the zoo. And you have a look at some wild animals which are kept there. Now, animals in the zoo, they are just brought there. They get them from the game parks. If not game parks, they get them from the forest or bush. Then they bring them in the zoo. They don't bring many animals. They can bring one or two for learning purpose, for us to learn from them. Animals in the zoo, they are just brought there for us to learn from them. And now, they can ask you, mention places where wild animals can be found. We find them, bushes, put there the zoo, put their forest, put their game parks. A game park is a place put aside for only wild animals. And when they find you in a game park, my dear children, there and then they arrest you. We have a group of people who takes care of the wild animals in the game park, whom we call the game rangers. They keep moving in the game parks. If the game rangers finds you there, they arrest you and put you in prison. Because there are some people who go there to kill important animals from the game parks. Examples of wild animals. We have the zebras, we have lions, we have monkeys, elephants, leopards, and rhinos. There are very many wild animals, including the snakes. Sometimes snake come into our houses. But when the snake comes, they see how Dad and Mommy are struggling to look for it. Why? It is a dangerous animal. A snake is a dangerous animal. Let me talk even about a snake. Some bad people, when they kill the snakes, they throw them on the way, where you younger children are passing. So some stubborn children, they can get a snake and hold it. You might find when I've just killed it, you see how it bites you. People say when they crush the head, the tail of the snake can also bite. So you are not supposed to play with a snake. Any killed snake on the way, it can cause harm to you, or it can cause harm to your life. There are some snakes, once it bites you, you die. They are also there. You die there, and then some of you, is Katuma Recreation Center there. Kavumba Recreation Center. You can go there and have a look. You can go to the zoo at Entebbe. Have a look about all these things here. So, these wild animals, they also have uses. One, they attract tourists to our country. That's why they protect them. That's why they protect wild animals. Who are tourists? People who come from other countries to come and see what we have in Uganda. Someone is hearing of a rhino, of a giraffe, of a zebra, puts in money to come and see. And they give us one which we call foreign exchange. So they attract tourist wild animals. We also get hides and skins from these wild animals. Then the elephants, they have this thing, that white thing. It is called what? Ivory. People hunt them, people kill them to get that ivory. Very important. So, when the government finds you have killed any wild animal, you pay for it. Either by putting in prison or you pay money. So we don't tamper with them. When a wild animal comes in an area, we call the game rangers to come and take it back where it is supposed to be. So my dear children, my parents, my number is 0782 925471. That is MTN. Airtel, it is 0704 11 7435. For any assistance, or any help, or any inquiry, you can call me. We are all always available. Stay home, dear good children, listen to your parents. Don't move. Corona is everywhere. Thank you very much for listening.